appears there's a very large percentage of people that watch my videos are, kids in high school, want to know what to do to make money right out of high school. If I could go back and do it all over again, I'd join the military out of high school. Was it worth it? In ways, yes. But didn't make any money, of course. I've got friends of mine now that have been doing, oil field and pipeline work for 20 years. And let's just say they're doing a little bit better financially than I am. But these are your options. If you're in high school right now, let's say you're a sophomore or junior, if you're a senior, but let's just go for example, if you're a sophomore. What would I do if I was a sophomore in high school right now, and as soon as I graduated, I wanted to start making money? I would take welding classes in school. While you're in school, I would take welding classes. Pretty sure you can sign up for that at any high school. It's not a necessity. I'm just telling you how it'll make things easier transitioning to pipeline once you graduate. An 18-year-old kid, or however old you are when you graduate high school, trying to find a job on pipeline with welding background, as far as you've taken school for welding, will go much further when hiring on with a welder on pipeline. I was a welder's helper for a few months. I've been a labor hand for a few months, which are two completely different jobs on the same job. I didn't have any experience welding, and I was hired on. And in 2 months, could I have been a welder? No. I wasn't ready to be a welder. In a year? Yeah. I feel like in a year I'd know enough learning on the job to be a welder. Welders on pipeline make about $5,000 a week. They make very good money, but they have to spend the money because you have to use your own truck, you have to buy your own machine, all your tools, your leads, all that stuff. You're going to spend a lot of your own money to work. The good thing is a welder can find a job anywhere, whether it be on pipeline or any other industry. No matter how shitty the economy gets at any given time, or where he moves to, a welder can find work. So if I was a high school kid again and I had to start over, that's my recommendation. Take some welding classes if they're available. If not, don't get frustrated and think, oh, well, I'll never be a welder now. Just, man, focus on your school. You don't realize how important your high school education is until after you're out of high school. It's very important. Your diploma, I've never once been asked to show my diploma with any job, so that piece of paper doesn't really mean shit. But the education I received does. You think it's boring stuff, and a lot of it is not. A lot of it's just a mumbo jumbo mess. I'd say probably 50% of it is useless in the real world. But pay attention, man. Don't try to be the class clown. Don't skip school to hang out with your boys. Man, those are the guys that are doing that shit. When you're coming home to visit, after you've been out there making $5,000 checks every week when you're 20, 21 years old, those are the guys that are still doing the same shit. Hanging around high school kids on the weekends, going out getting drunk, ain't got no money, probably still live with their mama and daddy, while you're balling. You're making 20 grand a month as a welder. So finish out school strong, man. Finish out your high school the right way. Pay attention. Do what you're supposed to do. Graduate. Don't skip out on your last year just because you can technically get a GED and be done. Finish out your school, man. In the long run, that extra year will mean more than you think. Stay out of trouble. That's the biggest thing. Just stay out of trouble. Your other option is to go to college. I'm not against it, man, but make it mean. It better count for something. Don't go for your liberal arts degree or journalism. I'm not knocking those things because there's people that make a living from it. But let's be realistic, man. If you're 18 and you want to get out from underneath your mama and daddy's wing and start making your own money from the very first week after graduation, trades, man. Specifically in my instance, pipeline. You don't need their money anymore after the first week. You're making more than most people out of college make after 4 years, and unimaginable amount of debt they owe. And by the time they're 22 getting out of college, you're 22 and you've already made, $500,000 by then, and you don't owe anybody a damn thing. So those are your two options. If you're going to be, an engineer, lawyer, doctor, scientist, stuff like that requires a college education, then go for it, man. If that's what you want to do, don't let nobody tell you anything bad about it. But if you grew up like I grew up and you just wanted to get out of the house and start making money right away, I'm telling you right now, these are the steps you need to follow. But the most important thing is pay attention in school, finish out strong, do the best you can, and then don't get all hyped up about, I'm going to make $100,000 when I'm 18. Yeah, you are, but don't get caught up with trying to buy the biggest and fanciest truck, and you got to have the American forces, and you got to go get your damn American fighter shirts every weekend. You got to have this and that, and you need a four-wheeler, a side-by-side, and a boat like your buddy's got. Do not get caught up in that shit, man. Trust me, do not get caught up in that. And by the time you're 21, 22, you can go write a check for any of that shit. Brand new F-350 Platinum, $75,000, you can write a check for it. If you play it smart until you're 21, if you start when you're 18, just be humble at 18, be conservative. You don't have to live off rice and beans. You can still enjoy your life. You can still have a good time, but don't get caught up in that mess. It never, ever, ever works out in a good way. You'll never see an 18-year-old kid riding around an $80,000 truck with forces and lights and fucking pipes and stereo and all that shit with a $30,000 Razor behind it when he's 18. Talk to him again when he's 21. Ask him how that worked out. Probably going to get repoed, or they're going to get buried in it and realize that they want to get out of it, take a big hit, trading it in on something more modest. Yeah, they look cool as shit at 18, but ask him again at 21 if he regrets it. This is just advice from somebody that's made all these mistakes. Everything I've been telling you on here are mistakes that I made. I was a shitty ass guy in high school. I had all the potential in the world. I was smart. I didn't need to study for tests. I just memorized stuff. I had good sense. Carried myself well, but I had to be the class clown. I had to show out all the time for people that absolutely do not matter in my life. I don't remember anybody from high school. Nobody. And could care less. I wish I would have paid better attention in school, and I wish I would have made better choices after high school. So, for you high school kids, that's your advice. Take it or leave it. I'm just giving you advice from somebody that didn't do what I am saying you need to do. So, good luck, guys. Stay tuned for more videos. I'll make them as I think of them. Anybody got any ideas for what I need to speak about? Shoot them down in the comments, and I'll be glad to talk about it. If I know about it, I'll talk about it. You want to start looking for a job in the oil field or pipeline, I recommend oilfieldjobshop.com. I'm partnered with them. They got a lot of good stuff going right now. Go check it out. Appreciate it, guys. Y'all be sure to subscribe and like and all that mess so I can get paid. All right, y'all enjoy your Friday.